Morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm Bobby.
It's Brandon.
And this is the Hanson Oaken Show.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about the 1-year anniversary of the LeBron James trade to Miami. Bobby, what's your reaction?
I thought it was pretty decent, you know. I mean, I wasn't, because at the time before he went to Miami, I was always been a Heat fan for 5 years, but I didn't care that day until now. I was like, wow, LeBron's going to the Miami Heat. I knew that right from the moment, because I knew Miami was going to get him. I didn't even hear anything about it the day he was going to the Miami Heat. I was like, wow, he goes to Miami. Because originally I thought he was going to stay in Cleveland, but didn't happen. But next thing you know, he's all the way in Miami, helping out Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, try to get to a championship. Had a pretty good regular season, don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
22 out of 23 games. That was a good start when they beat Cleveland, especially back in December. That was a good run. But during February and March, they didn't really have a good month. They lost like 6 out of 7 games.
Yeah.
That was not a good month.
No, it really wasn't.
But by the time the playoffs came, it was phenomenal. You know? Played the first round against the Sixers. How did you think they did in the first round, especially LeBron James?
I'd say, especially LeBron James. LeBron James executed really well. Him, Dwayne Wade, Bosh, passed the ball, more ball hogs. You know, I think they could have played. They could have played a little bit better than they did. But you know, they played enough where they could get into the championship game. You know. And
they just eliminated them 5. And then the next series they played against Boston. What was your reaction on this one?
Boston, they played a hurt team. Boston had a lot of players hurt, and you know that's the only reason probably that they won. You know, they played great, but they played a hurt team.
And some of them,
well, what about you, Bobby?
My opinion is I think the Celtics, a lot of the players like Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, those players were getting too old, but I didn't think they were going to catch up with a 26-year-old like LeBron and all that. And now it's, I don't know, it was just LeBron's way of saying, hey, okay, excuse me, Boston, I'm coming through. I'm going to kick you out of the playoffs. And he does it in 5. That was another great run.
Yeah, it was.
Just like
then they played the Chicago Bulls in the 3rd round.
Damn, that was a good series.
Yeah, it was. They played a good run. They played a good series, not as good as the first 2, but you know they played good. LeBron James executed. Bosh executed, Wade executed.
Who else? Eddie House, James Jones, all those people.
all Mike Bibby, all of them executed. You know, which got them to the championship game. Mike Miller, they all got them to the championship game.
And then next thing you know, they come back, they beat whoever they have on the Sixers, the big name on the Sixers. They beat the big 3 on the Celtics. They beat Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, and
Paul Pierce.
And Paul Pierce, that's who it was. And then they beat the MVP, Derrick Rose. And then finally, we go to the finals, the Dallas Mavericks. What do you think?
I don't think they played up to that potential. I really don't, because LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, you know, Bosh. Dwayne Wade was got hurt. Bosh had back spasms. LeBron James, you know, was just not LeBron James. You know, they played decent. They didn't play up to the potential, and you know they lost. And they didn't communicate with each other. They didn't, you know, work things out. You know, stuff like that. It's just simple stuff that you need to know, you know, mentally to get, you know, to win a championship. You know, what do you think about that, Bob?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, because the Miami Heat. Let's just agree on this. Miami actually played really, really well in games 1 and 3. They played absolutely phenomenal, especially in game 3. When they came back, they were down by 7, and they come back and they win it by 3 or was it 5?
I think it was 5.
Yeah. So they come back, win that game, and then they blew it off in games 4, 5, and 6. And we were all and me and Brandon were watching. Excuse you.
Thank you.
So we were watching the first 2 games 5 and 6. At Brandon's house, we were watching Game 5, and then my place we were watching Game 6. Eating KFC. That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
Getting the 10-piece, but blowing it off in Game 6 in a big championship game, just not on top. You know.
Yep. I mean, losing Game 6. You know, disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, but this is really old. But I don't know if you heard, but there was a lot of. Bless you. A lot of crap going on ESPN about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did.
Yeah, what was your response?
My response that LeBron James is nowhere close to being Michael Jordan, is being as good as Michael Jordan. You know, nowhere as good. You know, Michael Jordan was one of the best. Larry Bird was one of the best. You know, they were good. They were good. LeBron James I don't think is not as good as Michael Jordan or Larry Bird.
Definitely.
What about you?
I definitely think that. Well, I don't know what Scottie Pippen was taking. Was he taking roofies?
I have no clue.
I bet he was. Probably because he's like, Michael Jordan is probably the best player to ever play the game, but I'm as far as say LeBron James is the best player to ever play the game. Like, who says that? You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But Scottie Pippen, I don't know what Scottie Pippen was thinking, and I bet he's embarrassed by now about what happened about a month ago. You know, because he's like, oh, Miami's gonna win the championship. Just because my Bulls got knocked out by LeBron James doesn't mean I'm gonna say, oh, LeBron James is the best player and he's better than Michael Jordan. No, that's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. LeBron James is not as good as Michael Jordan.
And
not even close.
And that is absolutely blasphemous. You know, that was absolutely blasphemous. I just don't think that Michael Jordan, well, not Michael Jordan, LeBron James is going to be anywhere as good as Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan or Larry Bird or any of them.
Any of the greats. Kobe Bryant.
Walt Frazier.
Clyde Frazier, or whatever you call him. Who else is there? E-Wing. I don't know if you remember. Erwin Wing. E-Wing. Alright, so as far as I'm concerned, another thing that happened that was so good was LeBron. I don't know if you heard. Well, we heard, but he might actually be going to prison.
Yeah, you know he might be going to prison. He wasn't watching his surroundings. 7-year-old kid standing under the basket, wasn't watching what he was doing. Dunked it, killed him.
That's not cool. But it's not okay because you know what? Look at Casey Anthony. She's already innocent from her from her trial because they don't have enough evidence.
Yeah.
And look at O.J. Simpson. He killed his wife. He's innocent. That's not cool.
Yep.
I don't know. Something's wrong with politicians these days. You know.
With the world these days, man.
Especially with athletes and criminals. You know?
Yep.
LeBron. I don't know about LeBron. I think it was honestly, man. I think it was accidental. You know.
Yeah. I think it was accidental. Yeah.
And if he does go to prison, his career is over. His career is over. You know. But so far, he's probably had a good ride, making his decision to join the Miami Heat and all that. I mean, it was a good ride.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but what do you think? What do you expect from next season?
Next season, I think they're gonna do better than this season. Honestly, I think it's gonna do better than this season. They're gonna win the championship. Yeah, and that stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah, who do you think they should get to help out LeBron?
Help out LeBron. I don't know. I mean, they should pick up Dwight Howard or Steve Nash or one of those guys, one of the good guys.
But here's the problem: Dwight Howard's going to be staying in Orlando for one more year, and then he's going to get traded. That's another problem.
Yeah.
Steve Nash could be helpful, but I doubt he's going to go to Miami. I think he's going to go to somewhere like Oklahoma City to help out Kevin Durant, or I don't know where he's going to end up, but he's probably going to want to get a ring. I hope he joins Miami. Just hoping, please, God help us.
Yeah.
But I may as far as say Steve Nash, I doubt. I think he's going to get somebody like Kendrick Perkins or something.
Kendrick Perkins is not good. It's not a good trade.
It's not a good mix.
No, he's not good.
Oh, man. So I don't know. I mean, Kendrick Perkins may, in your opinion, I think he could be Keeful, a defensive player, but if you trade somebody like Mike Bibby, maybe it could like deflate the team. I don't know what.
Well, Mike Bibby's good, but Mike Bibby, is
just not
as good as he was, as he was on the Kings, on the Sacramento Kings. He was phenomenal on the Kings.
I thought he was on the Hawks.
I mean on the Hawks. Sorry, on the Hawks, and he got traded to Miami,
which was a good deal.
Which was a good deal, but I don't think it was as good.
Yeah. So who do you think Miami should have released a couple of years ago? Who do you think?
A couple of years ago, I think they should let go of Mac Miller. Of Mike Miller. All the players that not really that good that they could have traded and probably got better players for.
But I would say resign Mike Miller, trade Mike Bibby to, let's say, like Orlando or something, or a team that could help him out, like, I don't know what I'm going to say, Milwaukee, that's what I'm going to say. Milwaukee sucks, but you know what, That's fine. I'm sorry, all you Milwaukee fans out there. I don't think you're gonna. You may get my pick, but you don't know that yet.
Yeah.
So that's probably the end of our conversation as of today.
Yeah.
All right. This is Bobby.
And this is Brandon.
And we're out. Peace.